Anahit, Mike, Britt, Claire, Brittany, Laura, Lancelot.
So close, you've almost got them all.
Almost everyone else.
I feel so left out.
Brandon or Brendan? Which one is it?
Brandon.
Okay. Hello.
And that's Aurora. And
Aurora.
Probably a couple others in here. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Veined edge. Took breath. Gave it from violent histories. Abused my flesh as moldy walls cave. Aim for their mark. My body a body bag of bruises. Abused my flesh as moldy bread, my blood as stains of wine. My lungs soon demanded the same from my brood, my mortality, from the gift I gave you. Mend deep human flesh, all around there is no body. Mend deep human flesh, all around the last person flies birth fat births. Consider tick in my shit. Is there really a head in my forgetting? Consider the chest pain, a disregard for proper breathing technique, head between knees. In here listening to fake air and a twitch of fingers, a less operated version of my grandpa, stolen rifle, rusted bayonet, grenade in heel, leg veins moved to heart. A child with parallel invisibility against storming to invasions, lit nerves against bone, lying face down in brain, skeletal coat hanger stretching out skin, a muscle defect, the evolution of a limb to deprive one of form. Lit nerves with secret bug in room, rash around swells, complete documentations of the flesh, femur crack, Achilles snap into the knee, the air behind my eyeballs itching, one hollow voice polishes a broken antenna. Forever rusting, the room, no matter how hard you rip yourself away, turns without you, remaining the home of many heads. The room, no matter how much you stay put, will not make the tip of your neck the home of any head. And hello, Mariette.
Hey, John.
Die hand. Die hand. Lie. But die pain sure. Die in the worst stain. Blabber will die beasting stirred. Sea can widen. Sea widens, is the tossing underside. Sandstorm, then stale surface. Damn comet. Higher stunt. Die hand. List this weepin' tear under mathematics. Sigh wet, dab clean, rest bleeding dwarf. Your ghost is diagonal. Blood noise. As if you could forget your neck. Plop goes head into the basement. Dim light and cracked doors shattering to a single, happy memory of public indecency. The lingering complexities of exposure, parallel nightmares of prison escape. Birthed of a recurring suffocation, then dry heaves on yellow grass. I go downstairs to check on my head, softly shattered on the ground, not sweeping up to avoid further damage. This is between my head and the hammer it eyes from across the room. Some blue time on some purple day, the jet screams in pain, the chair drags, desertion starves into desperation. I hear what's underground, duck my head, and down the basement stairs, here I lay, catching one finger, tearing the pink off another. Replace the room with another, and I am at a loss. The hammer, forgetting its purpose, smashes an escape through the window. I snag my head and follow. In the light, my heaves are silent. Bruises blacken about the eye. Skin open to light, and the sidewalk. Smeared of sewage, soggy, steaming into the histories of a red afternoon. I catch flies in my mouth and kiss you, then say buzz, and bite at the face in the window. Her sternum goosebumps a valley, even lower my tongue goes hard to soft and back, and my head is buzzing a stench. so I look up to make waves. We could stare at the light until it stops making light, the people until they stop making people. We can watch a small dog bite the big one in just the right spot so the muscles slide out, and steam for crows to plunge down on our dripping heads. The day mutates and doesn't break. I shoot out of you betraying honesty, and by shooting fall, and by falling splash into the bloods of the never gone, less burned monsters we were always afraid to inhabit, but have starved long enough to inhabit now. Her red foot purchases a green shoe. This is called Funerals for Been Dead Horses. I have a big funeral, though nothing has died. The whole night rubs its scales against my ankles and slithers away. The only successful funeral is one that makes everyone want to die. I have funerals for trees. I have funerals for multiple trees. I have funerals for horses, and when there are no more horses, I have funerals for been dead horses. I build tombs from horse bones. I keep finding these notes that say sorry. Sorry for your loss. Sorry for everything, and I wish I could read them in a voice that wasn't my own. I wear my horse skeleton like a suit of armor and jump out of trees onto unsuspecting deer. I make noises like I am dying, though I have never felt more alive. I have never felt less human. Sometimes I wonder what the point is of ever being human at all. Quadrupeds have much more fun. The most fun I ever had on 2 feet was when I stood in my underwear and scratched "I have nowhere to go" with my horse bones against the bark of a tree. One by one I hurl the bones at the sky and scare the light away. I come to a bloody tree, with bloody hearts blooming off of it instead of leaves. Quadrupeds of all sizes live in the tree and eat the bloody hearts. Some are as big as whales and are looking like feathery skeletons. Others are as small as fingernails and looking like horses with human faces and human feet. One medium-sized quadruped falls out of the tree and lands at my feet, and when we look into each other's eyes, I know that there are many eyes inside our eyes, and these eyes should never meet. And I know that there are many heads inside my head, and that these heads should never know about one another. Okay, now I'm going to read a story called I Can't Move. I can't move. I am here. Nowhere else. I am only here. This is where I am. I am in my body. I am up to my neck in my body, swollen with some lukewarm jelly. My senses are expanding. I'm up to skin in mud, up to my back in thorns. Must be in a forest or on the side of some highway. It's very humid. I try to fall asleep, but I will never fall asleep in this position. I could never fall asleep on my back. This is all happening too fast, and yet nothing is happening. A twitch. The twitching keeps me up. No, whatever has been keeping me up has been around for much longer than the twitching, but still the twitching. Another twitch. Am I getting anywhere, or will I just keep twitching? If only I could turn my twitching into actual moving. I'm certainly moving in some sense, but I'm not moving in the sense where you move towards anything. But I am moving. My left arm, I think. I only move when I'm thinking about how I can't move. I move carefully to avoid catching my wrist on a thorn, which happens anyway. Catching my wrist on a thorn becomes the only thing that happens. If only I had moved around a bit more often when I had the freedom, caught my wrist on a few more thorns. Now I'm not moving, and I'm afraid to look at my wrist. And if I am thinking I am catching my wrist on a thorn, catching my wrist on a thorn is no way to move towards anything. Moving towards something is like climbing onto a horse. The only horse I ever climbed onto had a deep purplish gash on its forehead a thumb's width, where at all times 5 or 6 flies were landing or taking off. The horse seemed dead, but I imagine moving. I imagine moving is like climbing onto a horse which seems alive, which, in a way, is working with the horse, not against the horse. I seem to be working against the horse when I catch my wrist on a thorn. I have had a long time to think about this, and that is the only conclusion I can make. There is no horse. I seem to be a dead horse. I catch my wrist on a thorn. I am not moving towards anything. No sequence of no sequence of things, no contact between things, just one thing inside another. All unoccupied spaces are filled with a fever, then eliminated by sweat. I sweat and it drips down my face for a long time, and it's still dripping down my face, and I open my mouth now and I will taste salt for a long time. A thing fits perfectly into the next thing. I am a perfect fit for where I am. This is it. This is what I am doing. This is where I am. This is not only where I am, but where I will be. I can't move without thinking, and I can't think without catching my wrist on a thorn. I can move. I'm surrounded by a thing that can't. Here's a bunch of short little poems. Bling. Long ago, a goat said, "I'm lucky, but fatal." I remember my moth going right to left, children steal. I fear the people, although I don't turn a long, sharp stick. I'm going to pop open now. In space. I come when the UFO soars over my room. I close my eyes, feel the alien, but for a moment before it passes. Oh, the hands redden. We need to sputter our next tragic knife. We dug throughout the war. At times we mourned wounds, but the tongue became polluted. Sun. 30 women appear at the last born child. Their skirts hid the advances. One comes closer, Swiss. Might save child. They woo the one. They pray the one will drop, as the child can feel toes, as the eyes of the women. Heave from above. Like waters pushed up by the earth, sailboats bumping with red moods, the regret of the dead, resurrected, the jolly rushing stream. The Hansel and Gretel Club is meeting there. By the way, owls are 3 good reasons for avoiding trees. I'm the Pope. It may rain. I run. Everyone is nothing but candy and used condoms. You can break. Strange, the shape of zoo animals. One hears the shore, not really water. It's a collapse. It's a good time. One might smoke and dance. That. Yes, I once saw lots of sides. The town. I think it's moving. The distant sound of an infant's alphabet. I never heard it. The pail. In high water that rises around him, he slurps a small meal. Over the clouds, his fingers by the deep hole, he stands there, a long hand of voices. Cafe. The hottest people separating their skins. Passerby do not go raised by other strangers. Everyone's mind sloping now over all the backs, meaning a person falls apart. Untitled. She didn't act real. This covers my eyes again. Warm breath. He works on seduction for self-help now. You pull him. She can't. She had. Now. I drag bodies to the slug of my mouth. Oh, I salted my teeth. For you. I might like melancholy. For example, I might put a hard hand while she's bent over and bury it where no one will ever find it. I find a box on her. She's been the same idea, no center. Add. The inner face bone. The neck with this hungry night there, axe with our dark honey. I walk toward the sun. I want lips, but I have penises. The honey muscles beneath the honey fossils, detached like the future motion of oranges on the bed to suggest cells remain. Bach. Today, I still can't make people sucking me, can't pay, I guess I can't think good. Okay. To finish, I'm just going to read a story called What's Been Lost.
John, I don't think we have time.
I don't have time for this. Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
We have to cut out a lot.